This conference will now be recorded.
Hey everyone, I'm here with my good friend Aiden Booth here, and quite frank, reason why we're on this call is because he shared some stuff with me behind closed doors at this mastermind in Texas. He actually flew in before his trip he was taking with his family, and what he shared with us, just me and a few partners, was mind blowing. And I said, Aiden, you got to share this with our group, with our tribe. So, reason for this video is to just first and foremost talk about who Aiden Booth is and how he came across this method. So you know what, Aiden? Let's just jump right into it. And thank you so much, first and foremost, for taking time out of your busy day. I know you're in launch mode, so it's pretty hectic. But can you give a little bit of background, who you are and how did you come up with 1, 2, 3 Profit that we're bringing to market today?
Yeah, sure. So, firstly, was great hanging out with you recently in Texas, and always glad to jump on a call like this with you. So, I'm more than happy to do that. I get a lot of enjoyment, get a kick out of talking about all this stuff. And my story with this model really goes back to 2006 when I started running this type of business. And the way I actually started was I purchased a website that was already making money, and it wasn't making that much money, but it was already making money, and it just so happened to be using a very sort of outdated version of the model that we're using today. So fast forward, 16 years, and obviously things have changed a lot in the online space, and it's just working, better for me than even before.
That's awesome. So, really quick question for you, right? Who do you think would be the perfect candidate for this? Because one thing I noticed when we started getting things going through everything you're sharing is a lot of these people aren't actually seasoned entrepreneurs or they're not like marketing pros, which sometimes, it gives people the leg up if they already have experience. I've
Yeah.
actually noticed it's quite the opposite in a lot of these case studies, which is exciting for our tribe. So, who would be the perfect candidate for this?
When we've been sort of designing what the curriculum looks like and what the method sort of entails, I always go back to thinking if I wanted my mum or a grandma or something to be able to do this kind of thing, they would need something that's as simple as possible. So everything that we design is with that in mind. We want someone who is a technophobe, doesn't have any special computer skills to be able to come along and actually do this. And I think we achieve that in part by making a focus on simplicity, but also the model itself really lends itself to achieving that goal. So, give you one example. We spoke a little bit about this in Texas, but some of the websites that we build, it's not even a website, it's a web page. And the web page that the whole business is built around might have between 20 to 30 words on it, and it's very much a sort of a push button install style system. And then you've got the foundation of the business, and from there, all that needs to be done once you've got the foundation set up is start sprinkling in the traffic. And we don't need much traffic either. So there are lots of ways that you can achieve that, and we've got different methods we can dive into if you like. But basically, from start to finish, it's very very simple and very very fast. Meaning that it's great for newbies, but if someone's listening to this and they've also got a lot of experience, then that experience is not going to go unwasted. There's lots of advanced strategies that we get into once we get to the point of earning hundreds of dollars per day.
Wow, that's great. And correct me if I'm wrong, because when I saw this, I was like, is this a typo? So I noticed one of the case studies was less than 100 clicks driven to a
Yeah.
campaign that just had this astronomical number. Can you talk about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, so we are able to get enormous conversion rates, unlike anything that I've seen online before. And when I'm talking about a conversion rate, I'm talking about someone who lands on your website and turns into someone who is generating you money. So typically, like on an e-commerce website that's selling physical products, you might get 1, 2% of people that come actually buy something. So with 100 people, you might get one or two purchases. It's similar with traditional affiliate marketing websites. What we've seen though with this model is conversion rates of 30, 40, 50, even up to 60% on some of our very best campaigns. So imagine if you could get 100 visitors and 50 of them were resulting in you making money, and not just like $1, but $20, $30, $50. So half of everyone that comes to your website potentially making you money. It really changes the game because it elevates conversion rates like 10, 20 times what people are used to. So you don't need that much traffic to be able to start making significant money.
Wow. So basically, this is a form of affiliate marketing in essence, right? And you're using CPA methods that you're working with. Question for you: what's the average ticket sale that people could see selling what you're selling? Is it because from
Yes.
go ahead? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So we see $30, $40, $50, and I mean there's an enormous range there. You've got the full spectrum. There are offers out there that will just pay you $1 or $2. We don't tend to really focus on those ones. We like to focus more on 30, 40, 50, 60, even 100. I mean, even $185. We've got some offers out there that pay us $185. But I think the key differentiator here, and the reason why this isn't like traditional affiliate marketing and is even different to this, CPA marketing in some regards, is we get paid without actually selling anything. So we get paid when people provide information like their email address, maybe their zip code, maybe their name, or a combination of these things. And there are big companies out there that pay us for this information. And when I say big companies, there are lots of big companies that use this model. Think of American Express, Apple, Microsoft, Airbnb, Uber, Geico Insurance, just to name a few. So there are plenty of companies out there that are willing to pay a lot of money just for information. And because of that, we're not actually selling anything. We can get these sky high conversion rates. So that's really the secret and why we're able to get these unusually high conversion rates.
Which is huge, right? It's funny because it's the sale in air quotes here, right? Because ideally there is no sale. You're just
Right.
accessing the data from right with your simple to build web pages. So just to
Yeah.
recap, 27 words on the one web page that you plaster there, and then you go ahead and get traffic eyeballs. Some of it is super high converting. With I saw that case study, and the cool part,
Yeah.
and this was I guess my point to the question was 30, 50, let's just even say it's a few dollars. But a lot of the case studies I was seeing was in the dozens to 20, 30, which is huge just to get that information across. And the third party's paying for it. So now I see how Tom and his wife was able to make $30,000 and how Jeff had a $6,000. And I see how now that's possible because literally you're getting paid decent, not decent, really well, to be matter of fact, to just go ahead and get this information to people that really want it.
Yeah.
So this is super exciting. You don't even sell anything to make money, right? The sale and get paid a nice, a nice amount of money at that. So, I know you're in launch mode, right? So, what is your last tips for our tribe to go out as they access this ebook? And what I'm telling everyone is, just don't get the ebook and the infographic. Get that, absorb it, to show up to the training. You're doing a live training here, and this is something that I'm telling everyone. I've known you in your history, so it's not like, oh, Aiden's doing this training, and then next week, next month, weeks from now, months from now, you'll see this. Now, this is something that's super limited. So I'm really stressing that to everyone that we're working with that, hey, put your information, get this product, get access, but show up to this live training because there will be a dead stop. And then if you miss out, you miss out. So what's your tip to everyone to get moving and take action here on these next steps?
I think if people can come into the live training sort of prepared, and by that, if you've had a chance to go through this interview, obviously, but also get through the book that you're making available there, then that will help them get the most out of the training. And by attending the live training, I'll be able to actually take you in behind the scenes and show you a website that's making money in real time. As you're sitting there on the workshop, it'll be a fun experience when you'll be able to say, oh wow, that's made another $50. Oh wow, that's made another $100, all while we're sitting there. So I think that's pretty hard to beat in terms of getting your head around how all of this works and how you could potentially do it for yourself. And we've got lots of different gifts and surprises in store. I can say that it will be a workshop unlike any that people would have, I think, attended before. And I'd love just to be able to share more information with everyone and help everyone see how this could potentially fit into their plans for 2023.
Oh, that's awesome. So just to recap here, right, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're going through the three-step methods. You're
Yeah.
showing the exact pages. They're live real time. This isn't like something recorded. It's
Yeah.
real live. This is today's date. And then the simple to use carbon copy pages that you have access. And then the traffic sources, right? A lot of people don't
Yeah.
share their hot traffic sources, but right there in live, you're showing how and you're getting this traffic and then getting, these sales, which again we'll put in air quotes, just really accessing this information, the CPA method to
Yeah.
extract huge amounts of money. So that is huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. So you'll be sharing all that live. And I didn't really know this. You're giving away bonuses, some really cool stuff live on the event. So I'm going to be
Yeah.
showing that
Yeah.
to win some gifts as well. And
Yeah, and we've also got a plan which sort of guides people how they can go from zero to in the next 30 days be earning at a rate of $500 per day, which I know is mind-boggling for a lot of people, but the nature of the beast with this method that you don't need that much traffic, that you can get things happening very, very quickly, it's absolutely a possibility. And just something else to touch on, we've had people come through a pilot program with us, and 100% of the people that were in that pilot program got to the point where they had a website at the end of it. And this was in a space of just a handful of weeks where they were earning hundreds of dollars per day. And every single one of them has had a similar experience in that when they've sort of like turned the traffic on, if that makes sense, they've basically made money the very same day. So we're going to be able to show you how the speed element comes into this and just adds another
yeah.
level of amazement, really.
So really quick, is this the traffic methods? Are they paid? Are they free? Or a
We've
combination
got
of both?
yeah, it's a combination of both. I mean, when we're starting out, we guide people towards sort of running with micro budgets on paid ads, just because it really is like a light switch then, where you can turn on the traffic and get it coming in the same day, and you can do that with $5, $10 a day. So you can dip your toes in the water, you can see how it works, you can see the results coming in, and then if you want, you can scale that, or if you want to, you could say, look, I'm just going to focus on the toolbox of free methods, which is also fine because remember, you don't need that much traffic. It's not like you need thousands of visitors per day. If you get 10 visitors a day and five of them result in a $20 commission, well, that's already $100 right there. So you don't need huge amounts of traffic to be able to do this. And to your point, we will go through all of that on the workshop.
That's awesome. So to recap, you're going to go ahead, go through your three-step methods, go ahead and have the exact carbon copy pages, see the exact traffic methods. And I love that micro commitments. So you don't need that huge budget. Full transparency. The one thing with our direct mail stuff is it's not cheap. Every time we send out a direct mail piece, it cost us money to send that out. And so the budget adds up. So this is the one thing I love that you were teaching us there in Texas was how you could do that with literally dozens of dollars, just a
Yeah,
few dollars to get
yeah,
started. And that's why I said, you know what? Now, if you don't know by now why I'm so excited to get this out, when Aiden shared this with me to our tribe, everyone we're working with. So we're going to do that. If you haven't yet, click the link below above this video. Get access to the ebook, get access to the infographic, get access to the live training, because this is something you do not want to miss. We'll be there on the sidelines, rooting Aiden on, watching this unfold, and right there with you. So go ahead and jump in. And Aiden, thank you so much. I know times are crazy for you right now. You're about to literally launch probably one of the biggest product launches of 2023. So thank you so much for coming out, sharing with our audience this important information to give them the steps to take next to join you and be one of your next beta testers. That's so cool. So
that's awesome.
thank you so
It's
much.
a it's a
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, and I look forward to getting this information, much more information out to everyone in the workshop. So thanks for listening, and thanks for having me here.
thank you. All right. See you on the inside.
See ya.
Awesome. Cool. So I'm going to hit this.